What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I'm bringing you a video a bit later in the day than I usually would, but what do you want? The folks at Riftbound have gone and revealed the second set, Spiritforged. Now, let's be perfectly clear, this is not the full reveal of a bunch of card images, this is the it's coming, more news later, but there are a few things we can learn from this that you need to know, and that's why I'm here with you. So firstly, we got the promo image here, showing some of the legends. Like, for instance, Aurelia there, front row center. Lovely. The good news is, we've got ourselves a little blurb over on the website, which tells us a little bit more. Once Riftbound's origin story is told, it's time to become Spiritforged. This dynamic second set introduces new champions to the game, like Ezreal, Fiora, Aurelia, Lucian, and Rumble. Spiritforged features 200 plus new cards, 2 new champion decks you can pick up and play right out the box, and a whole lot more. Riftbound Spiritforged launches in December 2025 for China, and February 2026 in English. So, what can we learn from what we were told here? Firstly, Origins was a big set. Origins was 298 cards. This is over 200. If it was 254, it would say over 250. We assume we don't know, Riftbound's new, but that's how most card game companies do. Over 200 basically means somewhere in the 205 to 210 range, something like that. Again, generally speaking, you want to make it sound impressive. If it's 227, you'd say over 220. Not a guarantee, but I think it's fair to assume that over 200 means actually, when it comes down to it, a smaller set than Origins. Now, with that borne in mind, this is still a big set. 200 cards is bigger than we see from a lot of sets. And look, the first set is always going to be a little bit bigger. You need to establish the game. You need to give people the tools to play with. That makes perfect sense. Make no mistake about it. This does not look like it's going to be as big as Origins. But that doesn't mean a small set by any stretch of the imagination. We're also told 2 new champions decks. Well, hang on a second. Last time we got 3 with Victor, Lee Sin, and Jinx. How come we only get 2 this time? Again, this is pretty standard. One Piece launched with 4 starter decks, but most of the time that they release individually. Occasionally we get the sets of 6, don't worry about them. Generally speaking, they are actually released individually nowadays, but you need to get your first lot of decks in people's hands, because when people are learning to play the game, they need some ready-made decks. When the game launches with Origins, you've got 3 champion decks, and Proving Grounds, which is another 4 decks. Here you get 2, and there's no mention of a sequel to Proving Grounds. Does that mean we're not getting a sequel to Proving Grounds? No, it doesn't. But it does make it a little bit less likely, because again, if it was coming, you would expect it to be in here. But as I've said a couple of times already, Riftbound is new, so we don't know if their announcements are like we generally expect from other companies. We expect that they are, but we'll know for sure a few sets in. The biggest news here, however, launches in December for China and February in English. We knew that China was getting Origins early. That was a standard thing. We knew that was fine. We all kind of hoped that that would be the one set that launched in China early, and that every other set would then get a simultaneous release or be moving towards it. That does not seem to be the case here. We're looking at somewhere in the region of a 2-month gap between China and English for Origins, and we're looking at about the same gap between Spiritforged and Origins. We've not, as far as I'm aware, as always, correct me in the comment section, I don't think we've had any word of moving towards a simultaneous release, and this is a little bit surprising, given that we live in a world now where a lot of card games are moving closer and closer towards a simultaneous release. One Piece is currently in the process of moving towards a simultaneous worldwide release. Gundam, another Bandai card game, launched with a simultaneous worldwide release, and yet we're not seeing that here. Is it a big deal yet? No. I still think over time, we are going to see it moving toward the simultaneous release, because when you're playing international tournaments, this does make the most sense. But right now, it's pretty clear China gets the cards first, English gets them later, and there's actually no announcement here about other territories. Presumably, they'll be on the same kind of cadence. We know we're getting it in October, Origins, but other territories aren't getting it until the early next year. So presumably, Spiritforged is going to end up in the same kind of cadence. Yes, this does mean China is going to get 2 sets before a bunch of territories, basically anywhere but China and English, even get the first one. I think this will be addressed eventually, but it's not being addressed now. So what do we know? Well, we know it's coming out in China in December, English in February. We know some of the champions which are coming in. We know that it's going to be a big set but smaller than Origins, and it's coming with champions decks but not as many as Origins. That's enough to be getting on with for the time being, but you know that the moment we know anything else about this set, I will be here to bring a video and let you know. For now, I want to know your hopes, your dreams, your thoughts, your opinions, your predictions, and everything else in the comment section. So get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Riftbound and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.